Imagine being worth billions, owning giraffes and hippos, bribing judges, and still being hunted like prey. That's the story of one man whose life was more wild than any gangster flick you've binge-watched. Welcome to Witty Guy Documentary. Today, we dive headfirst into the hunt for Pablo Escobar, the cocaine kingpin whose rise was as explosive as his downfall. Buckle up. Escobar grew up poor. Early crimes included selling fake diplomas, smuggling stereos, even stealing tombstones to flip them. By the mid-1970s, he co-founded what would become the Medellín Cartel. Cocaine was booming, and Escobar rode that wave like surfboard on a tsunami. By the 1980s, he'd built a fortune reportedly worth some $25 billion, with an estate so ridiculous it had dinosaur statues, a private zoo, a bull ring, a private airstrip, and more. He even tried to buy public favor. He funded housing, infrastructure for the poor, and got himself elected to Congress. A Robin Hood? Maybe, but with a bulletproof vest and a very dirty ledger. But as his empire grew, so did the violence, and you don't rise to the top of the narco world without making plenty of powerful enemies. The Medellín Cartel didn't just smuggle cocaine, it unleashed car bombs, assassinations, and terror. Rival drug lords, judges, innocent civilians, all were fair game. Plata o plomo, bribe or bullet. As U.S. demand skyrocketed, pressure mounted. Colombia and the world saw that Escobar had to be stopped. Extradition loomed, and that terrified him. He reportedly said he'd rather have a grave in Colombia than a jail cell in the U.S. So in 1991, faced with a government ready to buckle, Escobar made a move nobody saw coming. In June 1991, Escobar surrendered, but not your average mugshot surrender. He negotiated to build his own prison, La Catedral. Yes, a prison with a nightclub, waterfall, sauna, soccer field, telephones, even fax machines. He ran his drug empire from behind bars. It was like giving the wolf its own mansion, and unsurprisingly, he kept business booming. The deal was no extradition if he retired. Problem, he didn't retire. But even kings can slip. And soon, Escobar overplayed his hand. Enter bad decisions. In July 1992, after he tortured and murdered 2 cartel members inside La Catedral, the Colombian government ordered him transferred to a real prison. Instead, Escobar slipped out with his loyal guards disappearing into the shadows. What followed was the largest manhunt in Colombia's history. The official elite unit Search Bloc, backed by the U.S. government and rival cartels, hunted him city to city, roof to roof. And then, after months on the run, a phone call would be his undoing. On December 2nd, 1993, one day after his 44th birthday, authorities traced a phone call to his hideout in a Medellín neighborhood. Escobar and his bodyguard fled to the roof. A chase and a gunfight erupted. In the chaos, Escobar was shot 3 times: leg, upper back, and a final fatal shot to the head, right ear. Some say police killed him. Others, including his son, insist he took his own life rather than face extradition. Regardless of who pulled the trigger, the result was the same. The king was dead, and with him went the backbone of the Medellín Cartel. But when a drug lord dies, the story doesn't end, it evolves. The fall of Escobar triggered the collapse of the Medellín Cartel, but it didn't end cocaine or crime in Colombia, just shifted power. Other cartels, shadow syndicates, and paramilitaries stepped in to fill the void. His extravagant estate, Hacienda Nápoles, once a zoo estate, with giraffes, hippos, and even a private airstrip, would later become a bizarre theme park, a weird monument to absurd excess and tragedy. And while some still romanticize narco lifestyles in media and pop culture, the scars of violence, death, and corruption remain a stark reminder. Crime's glamour rarely survives reality. So there you have it, from tombstones and fake diplomas to global infamy, and a rooftop with one final bullet. The hunt for Pablo Escobar shows that no empire built on lies and blood stands forever. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's darker back alleys, hit that like button Subscribe if you love sharp, no-fluff stories. And ring the bell so you never miss the next wild ride. Stay woke.